Oklahoma weather, Oklahoma City, this is like for most of Oklahoma, but Oklahoma City especially, I feel like can have some really crazy weather. You know, there's a saying in Oklahoma that if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes because it'll change. And that's basically true. I remember this was in the middle of the summer or something. Like we just went outside because we went to some appointment. It fell through. We got back in the car, and when we got back in the car, it was like you couldn't even say it was like what is it called when it's like raining but not really raining? It's just like a little I can't even think of the word right now. Just like, but there's like barely like few, like nothing. It's just like a drop every now and then. And then we drive just not even like 5 minutes away, and it is pouring, like pouring down. There's already so much water everywhere. And when I say pouring, I mean you step outside and literally like not even half a second you're soaked. And we were running. We couldn't even see. It was just ridiculous. And like we were running through an apartment complex, and there was one place where like it felt like a wave. Literally, it was just like, because just the way the apartment complex, there's like stuff coming from the rooftops because there's also wind. It just like and we were completely soaked. No hope, because when we left that day it was sunny, and so we weren't wearing anything to prepare for the rain. That's something else. You never know when to bring a jacket or not. Like, it was like you might start out wearing a jacket, and then it's just really hot, or you might not wear one, and then you just get hit by a rainstorm that actually goes away like 15 minutes later. Like, it's amazing. I love Oklahoma because the thing is, there's no mountains. Like, it's completely it's really cool for that way, because the thunder is amazing because you can see it everywhere. That's why they call the basketball team the Thunder. This is why when you go there, thunder in Oklahoma is way different. It like goes sideways, and it's the coolest thing you've ever seen. It's like, and there's no mountains, and so it just expands forever into eternity. And like anyways, because there's no mountains, like the wind just, you know, it just goes like everything. The weather changes fast because there's nothing to like block anything. So it's in and out, you know. Weather is definitely a big topic in Oklahoma because also of the tornadoes. When I was there, I was in, my first area was Oklahoma City. I was actually there for about 7 months. And I was there when they had the big Moore tornado. I don't know if you've heard about it. I don't know if whoever's listening to this has heard about that, but it was pretty big. It was, at the time, it was the biggest tornado in recorded history. It killed about 20 people. And that was the thing. It was huge, and it was in a very populated area. It was in southern Oklahoma City. Like, it was in Moore, which is a suburb of southern Oklahoma City, but it's basically southern Oklahoma City. And it actually hit part of our AP's apartment. And so they couldn't live there anymore. They had to like grab their stuff and get out. And it's kind of crazy because when the tornado came, before it hit southern Oklahoma City, it like passed from the northwest, and we were in northwest Oklahoma City. So I remember we were sitting in our apartment, you know, the sirens come up to warn you if a tornado is coming. And don't worry, you'll get siren warnings, you'll get texts from like your zone leaders and APs and stuff, so don't even worry about that. Like, you'll be well aware that a tornado is coming before it actually comes. And we were in our apartment, we're like, should we go to the church? Because at this time, it was coming down so hard. It was like crazy hail and everything, and like the sky was like green. That's something. Tornadoes, the cloud turned green. Like it's like they call it the wall cloud, and where it's like, you know, you have like your clouds, but like it's just a wall of it's just a wall. Like there's not even like your weird edges or whatever. It's just like the same thing, just for as long as you can see. Just, it's crazy. And so it was just coming down really hard. And so when it was like, do we go to the church? We're like, maybe we should go to the church, because there's like a shelter underneath the church. And so we get in our car, we're like running to the car, we get in our car, we drive out of the parking lot, and then we get this text that tells us the tornado is, well, there's circling clouds, which is like what happens before the tornado like forms. It's how it's starting to form, like it's trying to form. Circling clouds means it's trying to form. Circling clouds headed southeast on like 45th and Council, which means it was here, headed this way. And we were like here, and the church was there. And so it was headed that way. And so we just like, when we got that text, we just like turned around and got back into our apartment. But it passed right over us and didn't touch down until it got to South OKC. And then we just went back to the shelter. There was a couple missionaries that had like one of those turny radios where you have to turn the handle. We were just listening to what was going on. Yeah. And after that happened, we did a lot of service, you know, for about 2 weeks straight, especially the missionaries in the city. Me and my companions maybe did like 50 hours of service in just, a lot of it was like hauling like leftovers of trees. Like people would like chop them and we would just like haul them into piles. Like there were a lot of parks that were messed up. The saddest stuff would be going through like the remains of people's houses, looking for valuables for them, or most of the time it's like pictures. I remember one time, it was like the saddest thing ever. There was, I was going through someone's house with my companion. We're just like looking through for pictures and all that stuff. And I find this picture of this little girl. And it was like her school picture or something, and so I like put it in the picture pile, and like the little girl comes and she sees it and she's like, mommy, my picture, and like she just starts crying. And then I'm just like, holy cow, this is like life just like came crashing down. I was like, oh my gosh, it was surreal. Like just looking around, and it hit so many things. Like we passed the hospital. It hit the hospital, and it was just like it was standing sort of. And so, but now I feel like I'm being dramatic. That was crazy, and that was actually the second time that the tornado has hit that place in about 15-20 years or something. Most of the time tornadoes don't hit largely populated areas. For example, there was actually a week after that, there was a tornado that was even bigger. It was that one, the one that hit more, was about a mile in diameter on the bottom, on the ground, and traveled about 19 miles. The next one was about 2 miles in diameter, but it was like in the country. And so no one died from that one. It just ruined, well, like some people's like livestock and stuff. But the thing is, that's very uncommon. Like this last tornado season, they have it in seasons. It's like springtime when like the cold air is coming one way and the hot air is coming one way. And so it's like springtime. Tornadoes, they'll happen, but they usually don't happen in big areas. So you'll be fine. Like you're fine. Don't even worry about it. Other weird things that happen temperature, we call climate wise, you'll have like, well, it'll hail. I've never been like, I haven't been in a lot of hail. I've been like one hail storm. And they'll have ice storms. It's different from snow. It's not rain. It's just everything like freezes. But it's like It's not even hail. It's just, everything's just frozen. It's really weird. And it can rain like crazy. And it'll snow, but it's not the same snow as other places. Like, it's not the same as like Utah snow. It's more compact. It's more icy. Yeah. And obviously you have the humidity in the summer, which I'm from the Mojave Desert, and so that was kind of rough at first, but you learn to get used to it. And honestly, the second time summer came around, that first day when I felt the humidity, it was like I was coming home. It was so weird. I was like, oh my gosh, I missed this. And I've never liked humidity, but I don't know, it's just because it just like felt like Oklahoma. I was like, oh, this is nice. But so the humidity can get kind of intense, but it's not as bad as like, you know, tropical places. Like it's just kind of bad for the United States. The worst part about the humidity actually might be in the winter, just because I had a misconception that like in the winter the humidity goes away. There's still water in the air in the winter. It's just really cold. And so it goes right through your clothes. Like it's really cold. And so temperature wise, Oklahoma in the winter is not as cold compared with like Utah and other places, but Utah is dry. You know, California, Southern California, where I'm from, is dry, at least the part where I'm from. If it's like wet cold, it just like seeps into your soul. It's like it's fun. Oklahoma weather just keeps you on your toes. That's all. It keeps things interesting. Oh, in the winter, I would, if it gets bad enough, bring like a golf ball so you can like track with the golf ball instead of your bare knuckles. Like, yeah.